Welcome back to MVM. Today we are at the table again with another unboxing of a game that we kind of wanted to show you as we opened it together. This is Uprising, Curse of the Last Emperor. This is a game that I've been looking forward to for a while because honestly, I got to play this game during the pandemic over TTS. We actually did some coverage of it here on MVM back when it was first being originally talked about. And what I said when I played that game was that I could not wait to see what the final was going to look like.
And you never played a hard
We had
copy
like
of it at all?
a very basic prototype.
Oh.
Not the level of production quality that you're going to see here. But we talked about it. He told me his plans for this box, and I said, we've got to see that. I think this is a game that you're probably going to want to really play. So let's just kind of jump into the unboxing here, and as things come out, we'll talk about it. I want to talk a little bit about how to play the game as well, or just basically what the game is. It is a cooperative game.
I do want to tell you, too, before we open this thing, you could feel this, and we get a lot of board game boxes.
Yeah,
this
do.
one literally feels, I don't think it is, but it literally feels like it's filled with punch board. Like it feels like the most solid
It's
piece.
very solid.
It's very solid. So
I think that's probably because of the insert that it has inside.
Here.
I do look at that artwork on the cover. I mean, that is phenomenal looking artwork.
Yeah, it's a very cool
Yeah,
cover.
look at that.
I know very little about this other than the fact that we did cover it, but when Ryan covers something like that, I didn't even
That's
get my
true.
hands on this one at all.
So you're going to see this is a cooperative game, and it's played out on a map, kind of like Vindication, a big map where you're placing a bunch of tiles. All these tiles have different rewards, they have different abilities, and they affect the game state in different ways. So I imagine we're going to have several pieces of punch board.
Hey.
You're already punching
I'm
it. even.
accidentally punching it as
I think
we
we're going to
go.
have several pieces of punch board that are all the different tiles. And you'll see in the back, they actually have their unexplored side. You'll have to actually kind of explore these tiles over the course of the game. And
Are
it
they
shows
random?
you-
Do they come out randomly?
Yeah, there's scenarios that will tell you where to put some key tiles, and then you'll fill them out based on these icons on the back. So these are based on the different resources that you can collect during the game.
A lot of cool iconography. The artwork on the tiles is really cool
Oh, I
too.
love the
but
artwork
I'm
here.
a sucker for good iconography and the stuff. I mean, it looks like there's a lot going on.
There
in
is
terms
definitely a
of
lot
that.
going on. Here's the board itself.
Let's get that out
It's
of
going
there.
to unfold. So this is another game that hits a lot of the things I like in games, which is having a place to put everything. And this literally has, the board isn't necessary, so to speak, but I love that it just helps you organize all the different tiles. And these areas outside are basically like an icy wasteland. And so if an area doesn't have a tile, it's just like a basic thing. And you've got your terrain rules, all of your different rules are on the outside with places to put different decks, which is cool too.
You know what I like about this board? A lot of games, you're putting tiles out, and if you're sitting at a square table, whoever sets up the game usually sets up the game fixated
Facing them?
for, them or at least one person. This one literally shows right off the bat. It kind of like reorients the
Yeah.
tiles so that the text can be read by multiple people at the table, which is nice. This is cool. So all the tiles go on this board?
Yep, all the tiles will go on that board. Yeah, for whatever arrangement.
There's another board here, by the way.
I saw that. That's the enemy, the villain board that sits off to the side.
There's
There's
another
a
couple boards.
Yeah. So this is where you're going to be it's basically choosing a villain to fight. And you have these different, like the Imperial forces. You have the forces of chaos. There are these different teams basically interacting with the board. And your job is to kind of stop either side of them from winning.
Huh.
So it's kind of interesting. You really want to be the faction that wins.
And you're all working together to do that.
The players are working together
player, yeah.
against these different things. The Imperial villains and the Chaos
Interesting.
villains.
This is probably the most interesting board for me because
Yeah.
it looks like there's a lot of stuff that goes on.
This is the player aid board, right? This is going to tell you what you're doing in a chapter. Every scenario is going to have a number of chapters. Each chapter card is going to give you some random things that happen during that chapter. Of course, you can go on quests, you can collect items. So a lot of the stuff you'd expect to see like in a sandboxy game are present on that board.
Yeah, this is nice. This chapter track here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can see this, I'll put it on the overhead. This is what you do.
Yeah.
Like this is basically
That's it.
the round phase overview. Wow. It's not bad. I kind of like that. It's nice to have that stretching down one side of an entire board.
Well, they do the same thing here too for combat. So you've got your combat sequence, which is basically broken down step by step for what could happen.
Bit of a flow chart.
Bit of a flow chart, and then on the back you have all the different icons or the things that could be on the board with direct pages to tell you where to go in the rule book. Like if you forget a certain rule, like how do skeletons work, you can go to that specific page, even though it gives you kind of a breakdown as well of what all these different things do. And these are all the things that can be placed on the board.
These aids really feel like they've kind of gone as far as they can to idiot-proof. And I say idiot-proof, by the way, with all due respect. I consider myself an idiot in this respect.
Well, I think you need to, because this game does lean itself into the complicated side as far as co-ops. I'd say something like Spirit Island level of complexity. There's a lot going on and a lot of like fires that you have to put out. So having these guides really does help. Of course, there's the rule book.
Let's take a look at the rule book.
It's also going to have some like the setup stuff. And
you know, this isn't as dense as I thought it would be in terms of the rules. It looks like it's fairly, I mean, it's a lot of pages.
It's a lot of pages.
But it's not, I mean, it is a lot of pages, 50-some pages, but it doesn't,
well, like, there's a lot of illustrations and examples. There's a lot of
illustrations and a lot of really good, just, you know, it's not crammed or anything like that.
No, and I think that's why it looks a little bigger. I mean, this, you know, if this was a regular full-size rule book, it wouldn't be as many pages.
And it looks like a lot of it's, you know, again, going over all those phases that you already have an overview of. So,
all right, we got another little punch board here with some of the different tokens that'll be used by some of the different enemies.
Oh, what are these?
These are the player boards. So these are your different faction boards. Every faction is going to have access to different types of units, which is pretty neat.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and the double-sided, of course, you've got your little story stuff on the back. This is.
Oh,
I do want to say this is a Euro game. I know so far everything that we're pulling out here would tell you it doesn't look like a Euro game.
I mean, the board a little bit, but yeah, it looks.
But it has a real Euro feel.
With a lot of theme. With a lot of theme.
With a lot of theme.
We'll probably put photos up of this, but the artwork on the back of these player boards is fantastic. The representation of each faction. Look at this one here.
Yeah.
Like that is really.
And again, everything you can do on your turn is listed here, along with the special abilities that you might have for your faction, which is really good as well.
Okay, now we get to some plastic.
Now and look, I don't know if these are official. I don't know if these are game trays, but they are trays for your game.
Game tray-esque. I don't think they're game trays.
No, but you're going to have all your different pieces in here. And these do something really neat. They are standees, but I love when you see standees like this. And I'll put some pictures up.
I need to see these. Oh, these are pretty cool.
Like they're really solid plastic and they're full artwork. Like, I like miniatures in games, but these are pretty cool.
These are among the coolest. Like, I've seen some that have sort of the transparent plastic with, like, screen printing. I like, actually, the fact that these have the player colors plus the screen printing.
Right, and every one of these factions comes with 2 heroes, so you get to choose which champion you're going to choose for your faction. And then, of course, all those different faction soldiers that you have. So everything you need for your faction comes in one little box or tray here.
Yeah, these definitely would make me rethink my position on standees.
Right, I think these standees are great. I mean, they're obviously really high quality, but it lets you do things like print the names on there, the die color, because each strength basically is represented by a different die color. And we've got one of these trays for each of the 4 factions.
Oh, we've got some other stuff down.
Oh yeah, there's
these looks like some basically a lot of trays down here to fill with other things.
To fill with all the different components.
As you open this up. Oh, these are some nice tokens here. I assume you probably know what these do.
I do. Those are the garrisons or cities basically that you can put out on the board.
Oh, everything has a really. I mean, these are heavy duty. These
and those will go. Those will go in the player board.
A little sharp too.
They're like, yeah, don't walk on those. And then of course a little tray. Once you punch all the resources out, you have a little resource tray to store them all. And then this is all one big tray down here. Look at this guy. This one's heavy too. It's got a space for your dice. It's got a space for your score markers. It's got here's all the dice for the game.
The dice. Okay, custom dice. Those are cool.
Gems.
Again, the iconography, they've really done well because it's simple iconography.
Yeah.
It's not overdone, and it's very easily recognizable, particularly on these dice.
And then you have score markers for all the factions. Each faction has their own logo, of course. And then you have score markers for the 2 different, the Chaos and the Imperial villains. So they're basically scoring as well. So you saw the scoreboard. It's weird for a game like this to have a scoreboard. But it is. It's a score. It's a point salad game. You're trying to do a lot of stuff, but you're trying to ultimately just score a lot of points doing so. So here we have all of the different cards in the game, and there are a ton of different cards as far as like quest cards and then cards for all the villains. You're moving that stuff out of the way?
Just moving the empty bottom of the box. These look like structures that you're going to build.
Those are structures, yeah. They're actually You'll build. There's
Do
tops.
they grow?
They will grow over time. So you have your bases.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
those are bad guys.
Maybe
that build
not so
those.
sweet.
So
Same with these, just a different structure.
those are walls that you can put around them.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, these are nice.
So
too.
take a look at these quest cards too. Like I love. Like again, everything on a quest it's all super simple.
These cards are thick.
They are thick. The artwork is great. It shows you very clearly. These are what you need to roll on the dice. So you need to roll 4 skulls, 1 shield, and 2 lightning bolts. And you'll notice, see, all these symbols are on the dice as well. So it makes it's just very, very graphical in showing you exactly what you need every turn.
This definitely does seem like the kind of game.
And then, of course, you have your different villains. So you have all these different villains for the different factions. So like I said, there's the Legion, or the Imperial Legion, and the Horde at the same time. And then, of course, you have your player cards, and then all your events. Again, super cool artwork on these events. I mean, it's phenomenal.
So, in your experience with the game, does it play out very differently? Are you from game to game? How are you?
It plays out very differently from game to game.
Are you playing scenarios?
You're playing scenarios kind of based on the villains that you're fighting against.
I see.
Yeah, so it can play very, very differently. And then, of course, so all these cards here, your deck that you're playing, so you have like a deck, not really deck building aspects, but a deck management. Every faction has their own deck of cards.
And these are those cards?
And these are those cards. And, of course, you're going to have special cards based on which hero you choose, right? Because every faction has 2 champions. So there's...
I gotta tell you, these cards are like business card, like nice business card quality.
I'm just telling you, this is why I was so excited when I heard about their
and
plans
I think
for these components.
The bigger cards these have like a faint, seems like almost like a linen finish, barely. But that's nice.
Yeah, they're nice. And take a look at these item cards too.
Oh yeah, I always like item art.
Uh-huh.
We're definitely putting some pictures of these up right now. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And again, I mean, this game, it's a lot. There's a lot of components you've seen. There's a lot that comes with it. I actually got with mine as well. There's a little mini expansion here that's called the Armory of Azul, which is just better items. So you can get like a little items that can be earned over the course of the game. Look at that. It comes in a little sleeve even.
Yeah, these cards are nice.
Yeah, they're super nice.
Well, that's not the only thing you got either, is it?
No, I was saving the other thing for a second.
Saving the other thing for a second? Spoiler alert, there's more coming.
There's more coming. Here's...
Here, let me get these while you get the other thing.
Well, of course, a dice pack, just because I hate passing dice around the table a lot. And then, yeah, we actually got lucky enough to be given the expansion as well. This is the Uprising, the Arch Nemesis expansion. I have not played this. In fact, I don't know anything about it yet. We're going to slide some stuff out of the way to make room for this guy. So let's see.
The table's going to be covered in Uprising.
It is going to be covered in Uprising stuff.
Arch Nemesis expansion.
Yes, and this is brand new for me. This is not any content that I had during the Kickstarter. So let's see, another safety warning. It's good to have those.
So this little mini expansion just looks like it's more
items and
things.
cards.
Yeah.
So it looks like we've got some more enemy abilities here. Some more tiles, of course, for the game. And then a whole new rule book,
really?
Actually.
It's a pretty beefy rule book, too.
I wonder, a lot of it's art.
It's an art book. It's mostly an art book.
But
It does have rules here.
You've got your new Arch Nemesis rules here. It looks like
That's the Kraken.
these are your new Arch Nemesises.
Nemesis.
Arch Nemeses.
And then there's some expansion
factions too. That's cool.
with their backstory. What's this?
This is a little scenario.
Oh.
Gives you all the narrative text about the scenario before you play each chapter. Looks like maybe just a story.
Maybe this is just a little story. I bet it's just a story, given the fact that the rest of it looks to be artwork.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, the artwork is awesome.
That's phenomenal.
A lot of the artwork in this game is kind of desaturated from the pieces that we're looking at. Some of it's...
This is a cool piece here.
And that was on one of those boards we looked at earlier, this figure here.
So that's all that rule book. And then we have more factions.
More factions.
These are new
like
faction boards.
Tauren type looking people.
Well, let's look at the back of them. We've got the cool...
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Look at these.
Tuma.
These look like lions.
The last herd. Yeah, we've got, I think they're
all like animal based.
At least these two are.
Oh yeah, we've got...
Are they vulture? They look like
dragons. It looks like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like a dragon there.
Renegade Legion.
Oh, these are bad guys. Renegade Legion.
And the Tuathon.
What do those look like? Turtles, maybe?
I don't know. But there are a lot
and
of...
each one of those factions, of course... Oh, they put all the new cards for that expansion. Yeah, with it. That's cool.
That's a lot of content.
This is a lot of content in the expansion.
It reminds me of one of the expansions from like the way expansions work in like Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Like there's quite a bit
Ankh,
more.
We did one for Ankh where
yeah.
we had just a ton of expansion content. Yeah, and I like that it fits together very easily. Like it's very easy to put it all
You know what I'm
back
happiest
away.
about, Ryan?
What are you happiest about?
That you know how to play this because
I do.
I don't have to learn it. You can just.
Doesn't it sound? I mean, it seems pretty cool.
No.
Look
I
at all
definitely
this-
want to
it's
try
all
it.
spread out here on the table.
It's a lot.
It is. It's
I
a
want
lot
to
of
make sure
game.
we get it back the way you want it, so that it's organized.
We'll get it
but
back. We'll figure it out.
there is a lot to this game. Uprising. Is this delivering now?
This is delivering now for people that backed out on Kickstarter. So take a look. Coming soon, we'll probably cover this game again because I'd love to play this and get your actual opinions on it. I'll be honest, I have never won this game. Which again, I say this every time.
Good sign.
That's a good sign for co-ops. You're not just going to roll over it. We also played on a harder difficulty because I had the designer with me, so we thought, oh, well, we have an upper hand. We
still lost.
We still lost. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time. And again, David, you want to?
Yeah. Have fun at
There
the
we go.
table.
I like
and
it.
we'll see you next time. Congratulations, you got to the end of one of our videos. Now, if you want more practice, just click on the video over here. It's another video. You might not have seen it yet, so click on it. If you don't want to do that, at least click on the subscription button below. That always helps us. And if you want notifications, please ring that bell.